streaming. Hey everyone, welcome back. We've got another episode of the Corona Spotlight 2020 coming to you. Today we're going to be highlighting one of the production companies that is working with me to distill these interviews, these 30-minute interviews for companies that are trying to be seen in this Corona virus isolation period, distilling those videos, these interviews down into commercials. And this guy he's got a heck of a story, and I can't wait to get into it with him. So without keeping you waiting any longer, here we go. It's Mike Dolbow.
How you doing?
Hey Mike, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing real good. How you doing in isolation? Not going crazy yet, huh?
No. For me, honestly, I feel spoiled because I work from home. My husband works from home. Our biggest change in routine is that we can't go to happy hour with our friends, you know? But, life is good for me for the most part. We're just trying to get some people through this very, very scary time. And I find for me that reaching out and connecting other people and helping them get what they want out of life just makes me all that much happier, you know?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's still human connection.
Yeah, exactly. A couple of days ago, my daughter, a few years ago, when my daughter moved back to Michigan, about 2,000 miles away from me, we missed each other a lot, so we decided to play Uno over Skype, right? Got the whole family together on both ends. Each of us had an Uno deck, and we played Uno over Skype, and it was a lot of fun. And so I mentioned that to her the other night, and lo and behold, she got like 32 people together on Facebook, or no, it was on FaceTime on her iPhone, and
Yeah.
it kind of morphed into a science lesson for one of the kids and one of the grown-ups that's a science like guru, and the kid got privately tutored on it after the game.
Nice.
So it was really
Nice.
cool how things can show up in one way and then actually benefit in an entirely different way. So
Oh, absolutely.
right now I want to introduce to our audience a little bit about how you came into this current business and what you're doing now, and where you've been for the last couple of years or so.
Well, I got started years ago. Went to college at a very young age. Got my journalism associates, and started doing media arts. I wanted to get into communication even more, so I kept on going to school, became an engineer, worked for a lot of companies as an electronics engineer. But then I went into doing DJing and some commercial work. And then I got hired by Astor Broadcasting. I got hired by Clear Channel, a few other places, a couple of publisher houses hired me. They liked my voice. So I started doing a lot of voiceover work, a little bit of voiceover acting, and then life took over, and I just sort of drifted in the market for a while. Went back to work, and then had a financial devastation last year where I had lost my home, the whole works, and literally went homeless. While in the homeless shelter, trying to say, okay, I lost the house, I lost the car, because I lost my sight. I lost one of my eyes, and I almost lost the other one. So that's why my studio is called One-Eyed Studios. And it's part of a structure of coming back to life. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I came back to life. Now, the cool part is Robert Garcia, the Warriors strategist, actually found me. And because I was bored in those homeless shelters, you get really bored. And I'm trying to find out, okay, where am I going to go get housing? I'm going to rebuild everything, get back on my feet. I'm still waiting on my Social Security benefits. I'm still fighting for those. So, I didn't have an income. And I got bored because I got this free phone from the state to help me out. And I started doing these videos because it was boring over there. I mean, you're looking for resources, and then you're basically sitting around with everybody else that is trying to do the same thing. So I'd go off in the corner by myself, and I would put these lint balls down on the ground, and I would be like doing voiceover work for the lint balls. And like, I'm your creepy lint ball. I'm gonna travel with you in your belly button. And so I started doing that as a funny video. And someone had contacted Robert Garcia and told him, hey, look, there's this homeless vet who, not due to drugs or alcohol, but due to a disability with the eyes, lost everything. And he got a hold of me, and he started talking to me about voiceover work and being voice of the veteran. And I started doing a few interviews here and there. And I stood up and I took the help that he gave me, because I was not going to take that. That's one point that I wanted to make real quick, is a lot of veterans out there, when they go through a hard time or they go through stress, something like that, we don't reach out that well, and we don't open up that well. Mm-hmm. So we sort of isolate. And that's something I'm glad I didn't do at that point, because he introduced me to the Vetrepreneur tribe, mm-hmm. and he introduced me to EC and a bunch of these people, and they supported me. They did a fundraiser, and they got me the equipment. They got me the monitors, because I can't see that well. So they got me these huge monitors.
That's awesome.
And all the gear. So that's how I started the company, is from veteran-based support. And ever since then, I've been just running on it. I love it. I love doing this job. It's so much fun to help people that, they come to me and they go, hey, look, I got this idea. Mm-hmm. And I would go, okay, let's use all the knowledge from manufacturing engineering to doing GJ work to doing advertising work. All of that all fits into one little tiny ball. Mm-hmm. And I love it, because all those skills can be used. Absolutely.
So tell me a short menu of exactly what you can do for clients. I know you do voiceover work. I know you do video production. I'm not quite sure what video production means. But you know what I'm saying? There's so much to it. I'm not sure which areas you specialize in.
There is a lot.
Yeah. And
we'll start from the very...
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I know you do a little bit of special animation too, so please touch on that as well. Mm-hmm.
Definitely. We'll start from the lower end price range, and a simple voiceover. Let's say you want to do an introduction or a greeting for your business for your phone. Someone calls your company. It's called a ring voiceover. And basically someone calls into your company and you want to hear them on the, the person that says, hi, you've reached this company. If you want this department, please press 1. If you want this department, please press 2. And I do that. That's a lower end one. That's by word. So someone wants an introduction that's 15 seconds. It's usually about $50 for that, just wording. Mm-hmm. And that's probably 0 to 20 words is about $50. And you get that file and you put it in wherever you want.
Now, let me interrupt you. Can you do celebrity impressions on that? Like if I wanted you to answer my phone for me, sounding like Bugs Bunny or Donald Duck or something like that, or Arnold Schwarzenegger, can you do that?
I can only do a few different voices, like hi, this is Big Billy Bob's Barbecue. Everything is smoke, smoke, smoke till you can't stand it.
That's awesome.
Different things like that.
So you have your own characters. Awesome.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, please continue. Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
Oh, no problem. I did a bunch of funny commercials for people. One was jailbreak bail bonds, and it was just a funny one for bail bond company. And you go, have you found yourself in a sticky situation? And so different voices like that I can do. The next one would be your 15-second video podcast introduction. And those are huge. That's what you and I were talking about, 15 and 30-second introductions,
Yeah.
using parts of clips of other videos and other interviews and putting it together in a really nice presentation. But what I do with it is I give you a little bit of flair. And that's what we're going to talk about on the animation.
Awesome.
The flair is where, unlike most people that are doing these introductions, hi, this is me, this is what we're doing. This actually brings you into a higher style, professional looking podcast where it's a difference between saying, let's say, hi, this is the movie, or coming this summer to a theater near you. And it's the difference between the visuals. We do Adobe After Effects, we do animation, we do Hollywood style effects for your video. Let's say you want to do an explosion of flame that comes out, and your logo comes out of the flame slowly, and there's a voiceover to it. That is something we do, and it really puts you above the rest. It really does. It really helps, especially in this atmosphere with the coronavirus and everything going on, and everybody being isolated. People are going to want more content. They want more media. They're going to be eating it up like no tomorrow, and you don't want to be stuck in the same sandbag with the other media people that are producing media. There's thousands and millions of people now producing media from their homes. You want to stand out from those thousands and millions.
100%. 100% correct. And I just want to back that up with a few recent developments. Zoom, like I wish I had stock in Zoom last week.
Yeah.
Because by next month, through the roof, it's going to be Tesla all over again, right?
Yeah.
And this morning because I do a lot of my business stuff on G Suite, right? Google has opened up Hangouts meets for everyone who does G Suite. So you can have the very basic cost package now, and you can do a Google Hangout with 250 people in it. I mean, the ability for you to actually get out there in front of the people that you want to serve is, the channels are there. Now, like Mike was saying, how are you going to stand up above the noise that's going to be entering that space right now? Right? Because everybody with a phone and a camera can do a video. How are you going to make yours worth watching? And right there, Mike can tell you how to do that. Awesome.
Exactly. And we can actually train our clients where, if they don't know how to write a script, if they don't know what they want, all they have to do is explain to us in a paragraph what they think they want to have said. We study your product, we study your show, we study who you are before we do your commercial. And I usually do that for a couple hours so that I know for a fact that the script I'm creating for you is a perfect fit for you. And then we go back and forth. We send the script back and forth. I do a couple of drafts, and then we do an actual production. And what I do with my productions, and a little secret, is I give people 3 different styles in that production, and they can use all 3 commercials.
Oh, wow.
So you're buying 1 commercial, but you're getting 2 others that are, hi, pick which one you like the best, and you can have the other 2.
That's
wonderful. Usually great value.
Yeah. Absolutely. Fantastic. All right. So let's see what else we can talk about a little bit here. there were like three things that we discussed before we went live that we were going to touch on, and I don't think we've gotten the third one yet. What was that? Forgive my brain going, you know,
Oh,
comatose lately.
mine's comatose too. I think it would be IDBM accreditation. Now, that's something that a lot of people don't know about. You can get accreditation and copyright accreditation for monetizing your videos and your podcasts. A lot of people don't know that process, and I do know that process. And I take my clients through it for a small fee, about $175. I set people up with accreditation where they can be on certain channels. If they want to go pro, let's say you want to go from the internet podcast to actual, I want to sell this series to a cable company, or I want to sell this series to somebody else, I can actually help you with all that. It's a lot of paperwork. You have to format your video a certain way. You have to do certain things. It's not an easy market to get into, and it's very hard to learn. And that's the reason why I want to take my clients through it.
That's awesome. Absolutely off. You're absolutely right. I've never heard of that before. So anybody that could walk me through that process and guide me through what I need to do and what I don't need to bother with, that's extremely valuable. And I'll bet you a lot of
Yeah,
people that are watching this right now didn't know about it either.
yeah. There's in order to get onto, let's say you want to get onto a professional network. Even all these little cable companies that have all these different networks, they have requirements for your video format, your audio format, lighting, everything. There's a requirement for them to pick. When you look at the news or you look at a cable show and you're watching and they pull up these podcasters, or they pull up someone that's just doing something from the internet, they're pulling from a pool of hundreds of thousands of videos, and they look for specific things in those videos in order to pull them and use them on air. And that's what we do, is we help you prepare for that pool so you can go into that pool with the rest of them. And that way you're floating at the top. You're not being on the bottom, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. God knows how hard it is to lift something heavy out of the bottom of a pool.
Oh, yeah. Let me
Much
tell you,
rather be
you want to be
floating.
on top. You want to be on top, and you want to be able to say, okay, this is a professional podcast. I'm doing it from home because of isolation right now, but this is a professional podcast. This is not just my project or just an internet podcast project. No, this could actually be put on network cable channel or used professionally on a larger channel. And there's a big difference, huge difference between going pro that way and still just being on the internet market. So you want to expand out. A lot of people are expanding out, and especially right now, there are so many different networks that are popping up that want content because people are eating it up like no tomorrow. And so if you can get into that specific network, you can monetize your channel quite a bit off that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Absolutely. Yeah. Now, as far as marketing, that's somebody else entirely, right? As far as once your job is done, when you finished and presented the commercial or the intro or outro or whatever that case may be, as far as marketing yourself or marketing that video, do you do any support in that area?
Absolutely. We put you on all of our platforms. Soon as we're done and we get your permission, because usually some people, they don't want it on everybody's platform. They want it for specific one project.
Right.
But a lot of people, they love it. And so once I say, hey, look, are you satisfied with your video? Yes. You like your video? Yes. I want to have permission to be able to put it on my demo channel, so I can say, bragging rights. Ooh, I did this for somebody. And once I can do that, then they're exposed to all my platforms and all the people that are looking at my platform and looking at what I've done for other people. And that's great advertising. We also put it on all our social media platforms too. Look, we just got through doing this job for this company. Take a look at their video.
Fantastic.
And so we promote that way also. Cross promotion.
Excellent. Now, what do you mean by cross promotion? What does that specifically mean? Is that just the
Cross
process
promotion
of
is
doing
basically,
in different platforms?
yes, yeah, where we go and say, okay, here you go, we did this for you, but not just doing it for you and giving you a package. We're going to promote you on our channels. So it's sort of like promoting ourselves, but yet promoting the client at the same time.
Yes, absolutely. It sounds like a win-win. Definitely a
Oh,
win-win.
definitely. Yep. Yep.
Awesome.
And we do custom packages too. I mean, our prices aren't we do have a PDF that we send out for our prices,
Mm-hmm.
but we're very open with our prices. Sometimes in the PDF, it'll say $275 for, let's say, intro, outro for what I call podcast cards,
Mm-hmm.
where you have a Hollywood intro, they're really neat. I've done stuff like Pure and Eyes, and I've done stuff for the Hoarding Channel, things like that. And what we do is you get an intro, really cool Hollywood style animation, flashy, whatever you want
Uh-huh.
style. And then your outro is your outro card, where it says, this is coming up next in my channel, and thank you for watching. And it gives you credits and helps your sponsors' logos go on it and the whole works. So it gives them exposure too. So if, let's say, you have a couple companies sponsoring your podcast, and you want to give them more than just a shout out.
Mm-hmm.
Shout outs are great. I mean, I always say, go to JD over at Southpaw Laser Concepts, because they're awesome. They do an awesome job. Talk to Robert Garcia, the Warrior Strategist, if you want to help with your company's strategy. Abigail Sinclair. Those are if you want to do like listing, and she knows a lot of stuff about marketing and social media. So those are shout outs.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just shouted out to my sponsors.
Pretty
But
much, yeah.
yeah, pretty much. That's just a shout out. But let's say at the end of your podcast, you want to put their logo, their link to their site, and all their business.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I do for you. Is I take your end card and I take all your sponsorship stuff, all of the things you want to say, the people who've created a video, people that are in the video, and also the link to your next video on your YouTube channel. That's what I do. I set all that up for you. And that's a $275 package, and it's an intro and outro. They're two. It could be 15 or 30 second, and then an outro of 30 seconds with credits. So it's a whole package for your podcast.
Nice. And then what if one of my sponsors decides to no longer, like not renew their contract with me? Is there a fee for altering that outro? Or do we
Yes.
have to do a whole new one?
Yes. No, I can alter the outro. I have the original file, and so let's say you come up and say, "Hey, look, Mike, this guy dropped from my podcast, and I'd like to drop this." Then what I do is I charge only how much was it? $50 for that, and it's per change. You get 2 changes for free while in production.
Mm-hmm.
After production, it costs $50 a change, but that's nothing. It takes like seconds to do it.
Right.
So, but
Right.
it's just all the setup. The setup takes a little while. The change is nothing, and then the delivery time. So the $50 is usually just clerical.
Yeah. Yeah. And I imagine that could be tagged on to the new sponsors' cost to set up
Yes.
their logo on the outro card too, if that's the way that you do business. So,
Absolutely. Yeah,
Awesome.
absolutely. That it's all customer and all market driven, so that it's not coming out of your pocket.
Beautiful. Now, I do want to invite you, please, to put a couple of links to samples of your stuff when we put this video up on my page.
Absolutely.
I'm also
Absolutely.
wonderful. Yeah, because I would love to get more eyes on the work that you're doing. I've seen a little bit of it, and I love it. I'm
Thank
excited
you
about
very
you
much.
pulling apart my little video clips that I sent you to show me a little bit more of a Hollywood version of my own commercial. The Italian
Oh,
team,
absolutely.
I can't wait. I'm so excited for that. The Italian team did a commercial for me few months ago, and I'm going to air that at the end of this episode. So I would love to in the future do a side by side so that people can see the different styles and know who they want to pick
Yes.
to go with.
Yeah.
I got to say
It's
though,
different
you're
companies do
offering
different
an awful
styles.
lot. You're offering an awful lot of backup work for what you're offering and the prices that you're charging. So I just want to make sure that people understand that what they would get with you is not what they can find just anywhere, right?
No,
You've got some
not at all.
specific skills and you're offering a really good price for doing it. So, depending on what is going on in your businesses, listeners, you got to get creative here. And this guy can really make you look shiny. Yeah. So,
Thank
Mike,
you.
you're welcome. Thank you for being here with me today. Thanks for taking the time to explain to me and to our listeners, exactly what you do and how good it can be. This time period really, it doesn't have to be scary. We just have to start learning about each other and what we each can contribute so that we can come together digitally as opposed to in person. And this can be the biggest growth period for your business, for my business, for your business, Mike, and for your business, dear listener, depending on how you want to
Yeah.
take action. So, last final words of wisdom from you, Mike. What do you got?
I would take this time to promote my business, but you know what I want to do? I want to take this time to say, treat each other well, and support each other. If you know someone that's sick or you know someone that's isolated, get a hold of them, talk to them, spend some time on the phone with them, and just everyone stay safe. That's about it. And also hire me. I need the work, but
Yes.
everybody just stay safe during this. It's a scary period for everyone, and the media is going to keep us connected. Please stay connected. Don't isolate. Personal distance, that's for sure. But just stay in contact with friends and family. It's a really tough time right now.
Fantastic. Thanks again, Mike. Take care, and we'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.
Thank you, Gail, very much for having me on.
You're welcome. When you open yourself up to actual energy work, makes that recovery progress so much faster. That recovery is possible. You do not have to live as a victim until your last days. You have unbelievable strength, and I know that because you're still here. Do you want to create something completely unrecognizable with your life?